Hi, welcome to One Word a Day. I'm Sophie, your pilot into the universe of Chinese. We are going to continue on our journey of learning just a little bit of this language a day. Okay, sorry, I got some technical issues. Okay, so yesterday we talked about 神采奕奕, and I made a mistake, not exactly, but it's a common mistake because in Chinese we have a lot of characters that look similar. This character 采, yesterday I have two versions. One is without and one is with the 3 strokes. So the correct in this set phrase, which is 4 character, I call it the magic force, that it should be the ones without the 3 strokes on here. Okay, so just by the left side itself, it means little hand, kind of looking like this, right? Oh. And then with the over the tree, so it's like a hand picking or gathering fruits from the tree. That's the original meaning from this character. But eventually this got, because labor for farming, for gathering, become used to express something more. Eventually this character was used to mean a type of tapestry or fabric that's multiple colors, because it's understandable. Back then, all of the fabrics, textiles are made from nature, right? Material from nature. So that involves a lot of gathering, and it means gather from different sources. And so it tend to be different colors. That's the connection with color. And eventually, because this involves a lot of gathering of diverse plant-based material, that eventually this color, this character just by itself means sort of expression. So coming from a very concrete labor or activity, this was used to express man-made stuff that takes a lot of work, that gather from diverse sources. And so it's not bland, it's not monotonous, it got your own character, because for sure this gathering and the diverse material will add to some sort of unique expression of it. And with the right side 3 strokes, it just makes it obvious that this is sort of pattern, this is decorative, intentional. So in yesterday's, it should be without the 3 strokes on the side. And I said originally how beautiful it is to describe the color of the soul. But this one is even more like without the 3 patterns to make it a color specific. This means expression. So expression entails not only color, but also patterns, right? The spatial sense, and also the lighting, light and shade, all that comes into this gathering of different materials. All right, so that's a patch up from yesterday. I hope by this, like I definitely get learn more because normally I would probably not pay attention to with a stroke or without a stroke. Okay, so today we're going to continue with a version with the stroke. That's the meaning of color. 流光溢彩,流光溢彩. And as you may have noticed, 流 and 溢 both got this 3 strokes, dot, dot, upward dot, longer dot. So that's a simplification of the water signs. If you see the original written form of 流 and 溢, both have the same symbols on the left side. And because this is like 5 strokes, right? You like 5 squiggly things connected to each other, sort of. That means water stream. It's just a visual depiction of water flowing, but that takes too much time. And water is a commonly used symbols. And so they become abstracted, just 3 dots to express, okay, this is the water stream we're talking about. Okay, so then on the right side, of course, is the sound maker, right? Left is meaning because it's something related to water. And then on the right side, this one, 流, you can see, okay, this still water flowing, but over here, there's a block thing. So this sound maker originally also means the type of flowing that water encounters some obstacles, and then it interrupt the flow, but eventually the water is going to find its way, right, to get around it. And when it does, a sort of create a momentum that's not continuation of flow at the same speed, but it's going to be abruptly jumping over, of going sideways. And because the tunnel, I mean, the width is going to be changed, right? All of a sudden narrow. So the pace of the water flowing is going to change. So that gives a sense of this liu means abrupt. So there is an object, like imagine a big stone in the middle of the river over there. And then the water is going to kind of gush around it to flow through, right? Okay, so that's the kind of liu. Make it more dynamic, more interesting. It's not just flat, evenly flow at the same pace, but no, at some place it's going to be a little bit tumbling. Okay, yi. So this is water, and the right side is the sound maker, but as I suspected, it's not a random pick the sound to pair with it, even if it carries the sound of this character, it sound and exactly the same E on the right side. But this also carried the meaning with it, and you can see from the original characters, here is a container of ancient container, and the top is water sign horizontally placed, right? So water above the container, so meaning the water overfill, kind of, you fill all the way to the rim of the top, and then you keep filling. So the water is even going on top of the cup or the container back then. That means the water is flowing, overflowing its contained space. So we have two types of flowing. This is abruptly, like not even pacingly type of flowing, which is more a natural setting of kind of flowing, right? And then the E means overspilling. Now, these two actions, water-based action, paired with two visual sense. So, 光, we talked a little bit before, right? This is a human figure, and sometimes we add curves to mean probably woman, female. But I do notice a lot of times it not necessarily means female. It's just a shortened form from a stick figure, like this is a person. And when it's placed at the bottom, it's going to have a certain structure looking like this. So visually, I see this is more stable because it's not just a stick over there. Sometimes it does, but sometimes it's curved on the right side. Okay, the top is a fire symbol. And we can see you have this cone shape in the middle. That's the core of the fire. And then you have sparkles on the side. So that's our fire symbol. If we see a fire placing on top of a person, okay, so ancient time, no electricity. Light source came from the sun. So the sun is like a big giant fireball in the sky. So that like indirectly captured, okay, the light source, the light, okay, fire about person. That's our visually sense of where the light source came from, which is the sun, right? Implied over there. So that's light, and we have color. So you have this flowing light and the color overspilling. So overspilling color, my understanding is, okay, color normally have its own contained visual space. When it's overspilling, it's almost like a blending with the whatever color next to it. So it's not a strictly bordered color pattern. Okay, so this is a quite complicated visual sense. And I try to capture the sense of 流光溢彩. As a Chinese, when I see this visually, I would, in my mind, will create a certain mental message. In English, probably the corresponding character will be lustrous, which relates to the lighting and the surface coloring, kind of jumping off each other. It's complicated, reflective, mostly light pattern, like a visual sense that you'll see. So I use this picture as a stage dance performance have some lighting going and patterning and trying to depict the sense of water flowing, and the colors becomes more subtle and kind of bleeding over next to each other, and form a certain patterns. And it got its light like background light, and also the characters got their own lighting. That sense of almost like create a visual space that's kind of unique and invokes a kind of mystery. So that's the kind of lustrous we're talking about. 流光溢彩. Okay, Cashing to the Currency of Thinking by One Word a Day with Sophie. See you another day.